I want to ask you, what are some of the difficulties you went through being the president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain, like talking about maybe being caught on an ungodly time or maybe getting into a tight situation which you had to create time for that?
I would say basically there were two things. The first thing was, you know, once your phone rings, you need to answer your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as a leader of the community, because you have people in desperate situations. You even have calls coming in from the police station about Cameroonians being in a situation where you need to appear.
Yeah.
So you're bound to step out, and then you're off the roads. You drive to the police station, and you try to sort the issue to whatever level you think you.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching me right now from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, I remain your number one content creator in Bahrain, Benice. And on this podcast session, we are going to be talking with Mr. Norbert. You should be familiar with his face, a gentleman, a man that has led the Cameroonian people for good 12 months. And he is now with us to talk to us about the journey, how it has been as the president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain, Canberra.
24 months.
24 months.
Yeah.
It was 24 months, 2 years.
2 years.
Years fly so soon, man. Yeah, so I was going to seize that glory there. It's 24 months, not 12 months. I don't know how he did it, but I mean, being a leader and leading a whole lot of people, all the Cameroonians in Bahrain, has been an immense one for him, and we are having him here for him to tell us his journey. And now that he's about handing over to somebody in a month to come, let us know what are the plans. You are welcome again, Mr. Norbert, to my podcast session, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Benice. Thank you again for having me on.
My pleasure. By the way, it's New Year. I can't remember I met you and said Happy New Year. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year.
Wow, and Happy New Year to you, my fans over there. So now, Mr. Norbert, you've been the president of Cameroonians Association for the past 24 months. That's good 2 years. Can you give us a highlight of how it was being in that office as the president of Cameroonians Association in Bahrain, Canberra?
All right. First of all, I want to say that it has been a privilege, one of the most honorable moments for me to serve as the president of all Cameroonians here in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Yeah.
And it has been an incredible journey. I will not take all this glory without, acknowledging the team which I work with for these past 2 years. The entire executive governing body of all Cameroonians here in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Most often they always look up to the president, but they shouldn't forget that the president has a team that is working with. So I will not take all the glory without also taking this opportunity to acknowledge their efforts. They've supported me all this while, and I would say so far it was a great team, a good supporting team. We all work together to see that we accomplished certain things within the community here in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. So, Mr. President, I don't know how it has been. I've never been in that shoe, in that position to lead that group of people. How does it feel having that number? Like, how many Cameroonians in terms of population are here in Bahrain to start with?
As per the ministry, the statistics we got is we have over 3,500 Cameroonians here.
3,500 Cameroonians?
Who are residing here in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Bahrain, that's large. And you have to lead those people.
Directly and indirectly. And I'll tell you why I say this, because the association as a whole, you have to identify with a registration, right?
That's right.
And over the years that I was a president, there are a huge population that I dealt with. There are things that I handled that were not members who identify with Kamba. So, being a leader of the community, even somebody approaches you who is a Cameroonian, you attend first to that person without even looking if he is a registered member or not. So I just want to say that when I say directly and indirectly means I dealt with members who are registered members of Kamba
and
unregistered members as
All
well.
right, so we're gonna get there, but let us know. I mean, what were your success as a president of Kamba Cameroonian Association in Bahrain?
I will start with first the most important, which is the passport.
The passport.
And I will tell you why it is an accomplishment. First, we should all know, again, for those of us who are not aware, is that we do not have an embassy here.
Yeah, that's true.
So, with Kamba, we have to liaise with the Cameroonian embassy in Saudi Arabia to ensure that we channel Cameroonians issue in Bahrain to Saudi, and then they are able to come over to do their passport. So
over here, there's no body like probably consulate or something?
No.
All right.
And that's something also...
That made it really difficult for you.
Very difficult.
You're kind of playing those roles as well.
Yeah. We try to facilitate for those who do not have proper documentations that are supposed to obtain it through an embassy, and the only lone embassy that access Cameroon or Cameroonians in Bahrain can access is the embassy in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
So we come in, to liaise between the community and the embassy, because also the community, the embassy actually reached out to Kamba and said, look, for us to deal with individuals, it will be difficult. So we are going to use Kamba to access the population. If you want a passport, you want certification of documentations or any other thing, you have to go through Kamba. We put them together. It's easy administratively, to provide those services. And overall, that's what we've been doing. So the first achievement I would say is, for the past 2 years, we were able to, make access, almost 700 Cameroonians process their passport through Kamba.
Without the process of waiting, complications, and all that.
Or without even traveling back home.
For 24 months.
Yes, for 24 months.
That was a success,
and I would say again, that is something that in the past was a little bit difficult. Now it's becoming a little bit easy. Because we are trying to close the gap. We are trying to make closer ties between the community.
In a very nice way.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. We were able also to access outpass for Cameroonians who are kind of in some legal issues. Their passport got expired. They could not acquire passport. They had to go home. So for you to travel back home, you need what is known as an outpass.
An outpass that allows you to go back home without your passport.
Without your passport. So we're able to provide over 500
So the outpasses, were they coming from your office, or your office had to work in line with the embassy in Saudi Arabia?
Again, a good question there. I just want to make it very clear. The association has no authority to issue any legal documents. So now, to answer your question, we have to go through the embassy. It is only the embassy that is authorized to issue these travel documents. So we facilitate that process, receive these documents and issue them. And then we also have some people who are kind of in some legal issues that are in jail. So they can't access the embassy. They can't, they can't walk out. So we visit them in jail, get their requests, transmit this information to the embassy. They send us these passes. We take them to them for them to travel back home. All
right. So do you think that before your term in office, it was much difficult to get an outpass?
I would say yes, it was a little bit difficult. What I would say is, over the years, we've tried to build that relationship with the embassy, trying to get them to understand that Kamba exists, the Association of Cameroonians exists, these are our challenges, and then we try to channel them to the authorities, and then one way or the other, they step up. Also, what's noting here is that we have to understand that the embassy in Saudi Arabia deals with many other Gulf nations.
Oh.
No, it's very challenging.
Not just Saudi Arabia and Bahrain.
Bahrain. We have the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
No, they have to serve all the Cameroonians in the Saudi.
In Saudi, yeah. I suppose the
in
population
Bahrain.
over there should be more than that in Bahrain.
Yeah, sure, because that's an old destination for Cameroonians.
That's right.
And then we have Bahrain, we have Kuwait, we have Qatar, and we have even Iraq. Where people think Cameroonians are not there, but we have Cameroonians in Iraq as well, and some other countries. So
is the UAE under the same embassy?
No. Okay. UAE is separate. I think UAE serve the UAE. So I know UAE is very vast as well.
Don't have a consulate general there.
Yeah, that serve those in the UAE as well.
All right, Mr. President. I mean, for us as citizens or any other citizens outside your country, and as an expatriate living in another country, documentation is a very vital part, especially when it comes with expiration, a renewal of passport, or probably, like you said, maybe you misplaced your passport and you needed to go home. You need a document to prove you're a Cameroonian by the time you get in at the airport. Yeah, exactly. So they know this is a Cameroonian coming back home. And I mean, if you could make those things very much easier, then I would say, then that was a good success. Now, throughout your journey as a president, what are the things you felt you should have done better?
One thing I would say is that I wish I would have gotten the association officially recognized.
Okay.
By the embassy in Saudi and by the Cameroonian government. Look, we are far away from home. Right.
That's right.
And for us to have access to certain services, we kind of need some level of recognition. Probably maybe a document that we have Cameroonians in Bahrain, right?
Yeah.
And to a limited extent, I mean, just limited powers, right? I'll quote an example. We could have a case here in the police station, right? As a leader of a community, you step in and said, I am the leader of this community. The Cameroonian government recognizes the fact that, hey, there is a leader in the community.
It show up in cases like that.
Yes, it gives more weight.
Yeah, it does.
Gives more recognition for people to sit and listen to you.
Yeah.
But once you appear, the first question they ask is, who are you?
Who are you?
You're the president.
You don't have an ID to show.
You don't have an ID or a document being signed and saying this person is in Bahrain, is being recognized, is empowered to intervene.
Yeah.
No other thing, but just the fact that you are there to listen, and then how you can help, how you can advise, what they think they can pass to you, that you can convey back to the embassy and said, this Cameroonian has this issue, we need this and that. So it's something that we fought for and we didn't get. And again, it's not that we did not request, we request. And I just want to make it very clear to you and to some Cameroonians that they know that the association exists, but they kind of had some reservations regarding this recognition, because it goes with some administrative recommendations, signatures, and all of that. And that is something that I finally exit as a president, and we could not achieve that.
So what is stopping that from happening? Is it the Bahrain government not accepting whatever you're submitting to them, or is it the Cameroon embassy in Saudi Arabia that's not giving you the legal right to operate in that kind of, in that office where you can mediate when needs arise in terms of criminality, or with the police, or maybe judicial system, where you can show up and like a body or like a representative of the embassy here in Bahrain?
I would say the issue lies with the Cameroonian government.
Right, from back home, not just the embassy.
Yeah, for the embassy to do that, again, Cameroon gets its way, does its things, right?
Okay.
For the embassy to issue us that, they can't do that without the Cameroon government. In short, the embassy is the Cameroon government. So I don't want to separate both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't get that. I'll just put it more simply, from the Cameroon government.
Okay.
Okay. But again, surprisingly, I'll tell you, we live in a very civilized environment. it will be surprising to know that sometimes when I step in to attend to some of these cases, they do recognize that just with the consular card.
Okay.
And I tell them, I am the president of Cameroonians in Bahrain. They say, okay, this case, please can you please step in and see how you can solve it.
Right.
So to a certain level, they recognize that. But we wish that, hey, without you just showing the consular card, without you having any official document, there are certain cases that we would have intervened.
Yeah.
But they said no.
But you're
we
limited.
need, we are limited. We need proof of confidence, proof of from the embassy that you are a representative. Yeah, because whatever I'm talking here is about a document or anything existing that I am the representative. Recognized by your government.
That's right.
Stuff there, yeah.
All right. I mean, this is an opportunity that we are calling on the Cameroon government in court. I will be very clear directly as someone who passes good information out there, talking about the good people of Cameroon in Bahrain and the good government of Bahrain, and also that of Cameroon, that the Cameroon embassy in Saudi, you can't keep us in the dark. I mean, you need to do something. We got 3,500 or plus Cameroonians here. If emergencies like that should come up, they are in Riyadh, in Jeddah. It's like 8 hours drive or more from here. No, Riyadh, the embassy is in Riyadh.
It's in Riyadh.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours or 5 hours drive from here. I mean, how long is it going to take for you to come or to solve an issue? I mean, if we as Cameroonians, 3,500 is enough for us to have a representative that shows up in cases like that. He's been doing that, but he's limited because he needs that card proving that he is a representative, or whoever is the president of Cameroonian Association can represent the embassy here in certain matters. And why is it delaying when you have these numbers of Cameroonians outside? These are things that other governments do. We are calling on you, the Cameroonian government, to do this for us, because we do understand that Bahrain government is very, very susceptible, and they are very, very flexible. They do understand a lot. Like, many things will be difficult for us because we need to have that legal right that we can fall in and come in when needs arise. And so we just cannot keep squeezing ourselves within the corridors, within the tight corners, trying to prove to them that I can show up in places like this. Get us a representative. Empower probably the president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain to show up in cases like that. All right, Mr. President, that was just me pleading and pouring out my worries as also a resident in Bahrain here. I also want to ask you, sir, you have had a couple of successful achievement in Kamba, and also you've said some things that you wish if you had accomplished it as a president in office, but now you are leaving. So what are the failures you also encountered as a president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain?
I would say first is membership. I was able to pull a few Cameroonians to identify with the association.
Okay.
And to a certain level, I'm not satisfied with the membership, and I did the best I think I could, and I also feel like this incoming president could, take it from there and step it up.
Okay.
Why I try to bring this issue up is because recognition comes with proof of membership. For example, if I'm to request from the embassy that we conducted elections, right? Overwhelmingly, this number voted for a leadership, right? So they'll go through the statistics. What are they saying? So it's based on membership that they'll be able to make access or grant us some of this recognition I'm talking about based on the membership. The statistics are there. We could just tell them, or they could get it from the ministry. But actively, what are they doing? So I feel in that dimension, I wasn't able to, really.
So, sorry for coming in there. If you said you weren't able, was it like you were not versatile enough to get the Cameroonian people in Bahrain to join their association, which is a one-body representing them, or was it like they were hesitant or they never wanted to join?
No, there are a lot of Cameroonians who do not want to identify.
They do not want to identify. So on your part, what did you do to try to get them?
I think I did a series of social media outings, right, trying to sensitize them about the importance of belonging to the association and what they stand to benefit, identifying as Cameroonians. to a certain level, I feel like probably maybe my message was not strong enough. I wasn't able to convince them, right? Because if you put out some of those messages and you don't have the turnout that you expected, you like something was missing somewhere.
All right.
And probably maybe the next person needs to step up and see how you can pull these people together, to also identify with the association.
All right, Mr. President. I think you did well by trying to, sensitize them and trying to get them in. Now, talking about being a member.
Yeah.
What will you do in a case where someone that's not a member but is a Cameroonian get into a trouble that you can come and make matters better? Do you show up in cases like that, or you would just say it's not a member?
Surprisingly, I will say this to you and to the community. 70% of cases.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, before I come back to this, when I took office, I discovered there are two major things that affects Cameroonians.
Okay.
Documentation, passport, certifications, any documentation related to the Cameroonian government.
All right.
It was a major challenge. There was a committee which I set up regarding that. And then I discovered that Cameroonians had some issues, be it civil, criminal, that they were facing difficulties.
Yeah.
I set up the Case Management Commission, and we were able to, try to, put a lot of efforts in those dimensions. Surprisingly, to tell you, 70% of cases that we handled are not even people who identify with Canberra.
Oh.
And I'll give you a practical example. I said we were able to achieve, me and the administration were able to achieve over 700 passports for the past 2 years.
700?
Yeah. 60 to 70% of people who process passport were people who did not identify with Canberra.
Okay.
Which means there are
That's
people
huge.
that we made them for the first time. There are people who show up with Canberra to get their issues resolved.
But they don't want to be part of it.
No, they want to be.
Because I do understand, sorry for cutting you short. Myself, I'm part of Canberra, but I do understand that when you go to make a passport, it's mandatory. You've got to pay 2 BD only for registration. So after they register, aren't they a member? Like they stay silent, they don't get involved. They just register because they are compelled to do that to get the passport. Is that the case?
Yes, and I would say we made that mandatory for people to try to identify.
I guess to encourage people.
To identify. But surprisingly, they pay that money to get their passport, and that is it. What they need is a passport. That's it, and nothing else. And again, I just want to link this to the last situation which happened. That for Canberra to function for anything, I could take it back to even the church. All right, for those who are Christians, right?
Yeah.
If you don't pay tithes, if you don't pay offerings, whether you like it or not, the church will not survive, right?
No, that's true.
And for us as an association, for it to exist, whether you like it or not, you cannot just exist.
Yeah,
you need some funds.
You need to raise funds, to support the different.
But we receive a lot of
bodies,
backlash for requesting a BD2 registration for members.
Come on.
To keep the association alive.
It's done everywhere.
So that we can ensure that people access some of these services.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most of the time we receive the backlash regarding that registration. So again, I want to end by saying this. People have the choices. One respectful person in the community, I don't want to quote him. You can
call him. Give credit to people that deserve it.
No, if something that is worth giving the credit, I would have called him. I'm just saying that it was somebody whom, after we have had the last incident about registration, he did make a statement of people have a choice to belong or not to belong. You don't have the choice to compare people.
Yeah, that's true. The question is, why don't you want to belong in the only association that represents your country here in Bahrain? Now, I have another quick question. So, what are the benefits of Canberra? For example, let's say that a Cameroonian, God forbid, unfortunately, drops dead, and we can't get the relatives, and it is left for us Cameroonians here in Bahrain. What does Canberra do in cases like that? Or probably somebody is sick and cannot finance themselves in the hospital. What does Canberra do?
That's a good question. And I will start off with this. Me and other executive members have bailed out Cameroonians in jail whom even their own family members at home could not do anything financially.
Oh wow, that's nice.
You know, I can't count how many times I have carried Cameroonians' luggages who are being deported. You know, when someone is being deported, you should have some level of dignity.
Yeah.
Imagine picking you up, right? Taking you directly to the airport.
Yeah.
Talk more of those in jail, taking directly to the airport, and you're going back for nothing.
Yeah.
There are some who at least they have some belonging.
Yeah, you've got to
upon arrival, they try to clean up.
It to them, yeah.
That's dignity.
That's right.
I can't count how many people I have walked to the airport at 12 midnight, at 1 a.m. to hand their luggages at the airport, where sometimes you appear, they're in the van.
Yeah.
They just open the door,
and you just
give the bag, and you have to go. That just tells some of the conditions under which some of these people are. Right. Now, to answer your question, what I tell Cameroonians is, we are thousands and thousands of kilometers away from home. What is your first insurance? Mm-hmm. For example, Benice, something happens to you here in Bahrain, right? The first line of response will be people around you.
That's right.
Even before your family comes.
That's right. That's very correct. Yeah.
You know, and we have intervened in such cases of people whom I know have said, no, I don't want to identify. They get into those trouble and go around all the police station. In some of the ministries, you have the contact of the president. A Cameroonian gets into trouble, it's a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, you are the president. There's a Cameroonian, you need to rush there. And then by the time you rush there, you're seeing that person for the first time. You know. So again, to answer your question, what are those advantages of belonging?
Yeah.
We assist Cameroonians obtain their passport, documentation-wise. Sometimes we have individual Cameroonians who have sent their documents to the embassy, and then the embassy calls us and says, do you know this person? Because they said they've tried to make it in such a way that, you know, we pull those documents together, select a day in a week, forward those documents, it's being handed as a file, and send it back. It makes the work very easy.
Okay,
you know. In case you get into some kind of trouble, in kind of some issues, we are the first to even respond before we start calling back your family back home and say this person's in trouble. In case somebody drops dead, God forbid, something we don't pray for, what happened? We step in. So again, whosoever, which Cameroonians is around the world, residing in different countries around the world, knows the importance of belong, because that is your first one, your insurance. Second, that's your first line of response. Something happened. But a lot of people ignore that. Some people just say, oh, no, I just want to be myself. I just want to do my thing.
Sad.
I don't want to identify and stuff like that.
Really sad. I asked that question so you can break it down for people to understand, I mean, how helpful Kamba can be in such a situation. I mean, if you want to be somewhere you can identify with your people, then it'd be like say you not like yourself, because as Udi talk, they say, road for toilet need ever far. So people the way get that for you too, they do like toilet. When something happen, they do easily get for you. You be stranger for person where you stay with other than Bangladesh or India, and it will take you that serious. I said this because people need to understand. I mean, you don't need to be showing up in every meeting. We have different schedules, but be there, be involved, see what happens in the group, be connected, and get your contribution to also come in. And I mean, you see that you are working in hands with others to make it a better place. So, Mr. President, before I go to ask about the difficulties you've gone through, I wish to ask you, what are the things you did different from the past years that were never done in Kamba? Differently that was never done before in Kamba that's positive?
I would say the first thing I did, I think I briefly mentioned that earlier, was to really create some commissions and tailor them to specific needs of the community. Documentation, case management, those two commissions which I put in place. And
so when you talk of commission, are you talking like you empower some people and train them and give them that ability to handle these cases without you being there?
Definitely some of those, not some, all of those cases will definitely pass through my desk.
Yeah, I know, but like it mustn't be you following up here and there to get
exactly
this. So you were in a way empowering people, and you were being a leader, not a boss.
All right. So some of those cases that are reported, and they follow up to resolve, and then there was this passport commission.
Yeah.
They are just specialized in assembling those who are in need of passport, communicating with the embassy, and trying to get the embassy to come over, which successfully that happened. Okay. Just briefly mention that, unfortunately.
I want to ask you, what are some of the difficulties you went through being the president of Cameroonian Association in Bahrain, like talking about maybe being caught on an ungodly time, or maybe getting into a tight situation which you had to create time for that?
I would say basically there were two things. The first thing was, once your phone rings, you need to answer your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as a leader of the community, because you have people in desperate situations. You even have calls coming in from the police station about Cameroonians being in a situation where you need to appear.
Yeah.
So you're bound to step out, and then you're off the roads. You drive to the police station, and you try to sort the issue to whatever level you think you can. And in some cases, you put yourself on the line and saying, okay, I want to step in here. I'll take full responsibility, to handle this person.
Wow.
And in some cases, they tell you, this person has been rescued from this situation. You need to provide this person with a shelter.
Okay.
You have to start making calls, and then from there, you have to make sure that the person get back on his or her feet, and then regain back herself, and then get back, to normal life.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I would say is, there is everywhere in the world misinformation. People mischaracterize you based on misinformation. People call you online about certain things that you know nothing about. Just because they've not gotten the real information. Now, you have social media influencers, maybe on TikTok, on Facebook. You always sit and then people send you videos about them calling you out about certain things that you think that they would have reached out to you.
So you're saying that a lot of times, if not sometimes, you are being called and accused for some certain things.
Yeah. It happens.
I get
about the community, most especially on the documentation issue. You guys promised us about passports.
Yeah, I remember one time you were dragged by a lady regarding the passport issue. That's what it is when the health that bears the crown. When you talk about calls, do they come like late in the night? Because you are married, you got kids, you got family, you got your wife here. So when those calls come in late in the night, and probably your wife is resting on your chest, what do you do? I bet you just put the phone away and say, "This is my time to rest."
Actually, the truth is you can't just do that. Yeah, it's a tough decision to take, but once you put out, that's what people don't even understand. Once you put out yourself to serve the community, be ready to serve the community to the fullest. Sometimes you just need to. There's a case that is there. You have to attend to it. For your spouse, for your husband, or your kids, or whosoever, you can always step and then come back to that kid. But once you miss out on that particular emergency, a life may be on the line. Somebody may be at a situation where they need you there to rescue the situation. You rescue the situation, but you come back to meet your loved ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you just have to convince them.
Yeah, I guess that's sacrifice too, because you can't be leaving your wife that time of the night and your kids, and you're going to sort out issues of people that are not living with your family. And that shows the responsibility that you carried on your shoulders for these 24 months as a president, and which is something I want to congratulate you for.
Thank you very much.
For doing that so greatly. And I do understand you are not running again for office, or you're no longer in office. You'll be handing powers in a few days to come. Why did you choose not to run for office? Is it like the work was too much and you just need time? or do you feel like you've done enough and it's time to give another person the chance to also bring in new ideas?
I stepped aside for 2 or 3 reasons. The first reason is that I believe that powers must change hands.
Okay.
Yeah, new faces, new ideas, to get the association forward.
All right.
That is the first reason why I step aside. The second reason why I step aside was that as men or as individuals, we need to at one point upgrade. I think I have some personal continual professional development, self-development.
That you might not have enough time.
I may not have enough time to engage with the community.
But I mean, you are an African. Yeah. Africans love power. Why would you leave power? You could have been there as a figurehead and really not do anything and still do your stuff.
Some of my friends called me a Democrat.
Oh.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm a believer of democracy. I'm a believer of power should change hands.
Okay.
Yeah, because
you thought you've done your best and it's time for somebody else to get in, captain the ship.
And I've set the bar. All right.
Because I don't think you understand the position you had, that you were leading a whole community of Cameroonians here, where we have intellects, we have doctors, we have engineers, we've got teachers, people of diverse fields, and you were leading that people. I mean, you stepping out seems like you don't like power. Don't you like power?
No. I love power, and if there's one thing I appreciate is, change.
Change. Okay.
Yeah. I believe so much in change. And that's one of the factors which I have to step aside, because I believe that change should come in, new faces should come in, new ideas. Because maybe within the 2 years I exhausted the ideas which I had. And I think that a new person coming in will take it from where, and that brings development. Okay. If you have a single individual in a position for a very long time, you become so comfortable, and then you start taking advantage of certain situations, which is something which I would not like to. Okay. I believe so much in development in every ramification, be it being as a president, whatever position you hold in any in any society. Always try to give way and listen to people, for other people to come in and then move whatever situation, be it a situation, be it a country or whatsoever, forward.
It's nice. I mean, it's baffling that an African, again a Cameroonian, in code, is leaving power after just 24 months of governing people at the diaspora, and also, I mean, not even running for next term in office. You decided to just step down. That's a good one. That's how democracy should be. If you think you've done enough, you've achieved your aim while you wanted to be a president, you should hand over to others. That is good one. Mr. President. So, do you think that your successor is going to follow in the same light like what you did? Is going to continue to accomplish your achievement or your plans, or he's going to be better than you are? Can you say he's a credible person that you are entrusting the Cameroonians to believe in?
To start with, I was overwhelmingly nominated to stand again.
Okay.
And I made a point very clear that I will not. And to answer your question, the person, my successor, is somebody I know.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to say that it's about me, it's about the community, because also he was voted by the community, which means the community believes in him. And then he's somebody that coincidentally I know, I have worked with.
Yeah.
I believe that he's able to pick up the mantle where I left and take it forward. And he's somebody who's available, is somebody who
many people also
recognizes his face. And he's somebody that some of the cases that I've been with him to many of these ministries, many of the police stations.
So in the process.
Yes, in the process of working with him, he has been able to, even take me to places that I did not know. Okay. So which means that he has an urge, to take it from where I ended, forward. Okay. So I believe so much in what he and his administration will take it from where I stopped.
Okay, because in democracy or in governance, you don't want to do your best to get the Cameroonian Association to somewhere, like you name it, especially in document wise and all these stuff, and you know, in philanthropies like human, the support you give to people, you know, you don't want to work this hard to take it there, and then someone is coming in and everything you work for just dies quietly like that. So I mean, it's a nice thing that you can completely say that he is going to pick up from where you stopped and do it greatly.
Just to bring it to for those who read economics, you know, they talk of marginal utility, right? You eat something, and once you've gained the satisfaction, the best is you leave it at when you get the satisfaction, because if you try to pull it on, the satisfaction start dropping, and then people may now your achievement now your failures may now override your achievement.
That's right.
So they say leave the stage
while the clap is loudest.
Exactly.
People are telling you you've done enough, bro. Just leave now. We love you. All right, that's great. Now, just another question. You know, when we talk about this Kamba, I have the feeling that it's not easy to govern people of about 4,000 or 3,000 plus. I mean, directly and indirectly, and there's no financial gain to it. I mean, looking at how you're looking good, I wouldn't say you weren't looking good, but I might say that some stuff get into your pocket as a president. Tell me, I might want to run for the office of a president. Let's just talk this among us. I'll move this outside the studio. Yeah, what are the benefits?
Anyway, what people don't know is, first of all, I would say you don't stand to get anything. Because first of all, it's not a position where you earn a salary.
There's no salary.
There's no salary.
No bonuses.
There's no bonuses. There's no budget. Say, no, have this for your fuel, for running left.
Also, when you had those costs and you have to leave your house, there's no even budget for your fuel.
There is not.
Oh, man.
There's nothing on that.
I don't want to be the president.
Again, that's why I tell people that, you know, to serve a community, it's about sacrifice.
That's
all right.
I do agree.
Some leaders in the community even sacrifice. I don't want to downplay leaders of the church, because probably through tithe, through offerings, they get compensated for fuels and stuff like that. But you're a member of Kamba, right? Have you ever seen in a session where they read a financial report and say 5 BD went for fuel for the president, blah blah and stuff like that?
No.
Nothing. You know,
it's about behind the behind us. Yeah. The crowd. You guys had, you have something your benefit.
Virtually, there's nothing.
Like that.
You instead end up, I will not say losing. All right, because again, I said it comes with you want to serve the community. You know, I can't tell you how many countless individuals, right, that called me and said, "Oh, President, you don't bat, I beg." I've even the one for chop.
And you have to come in.
You have to.
That's right.
You have to. And just being the president, and there are people looking on you.
Yeah.
I know you say, okay, I will hold this small one.
Yeah.
There are people who are in jail and they can't get themselves out there, and they cry to you, and then you're bound to, you just can't look away.
Yeah.
And some of these individual calls come in, you can't get to the community on every instance to say A, B, because we have hundreds of those challenges going on. And then you come in on a personal. There's never.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk on behalf of others. For me, instead of, which makes me happy, I'm not complaining. I have put on my own services, my own funds to help individuals than what I've gotten from the community. It makes me happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why you wanted to be a president, to be able to touch your people at that office or at that level where you are able to reach to them more. I mean, that's a good one, Mr. President. I mean, if there was anything like financial benefit, then I should be thinking of becoming a president.
And again, when I keep talking, people keep looking just at the president. I want to tell you, every ESCO member in one way or the other of my team, I've in one way or the other put in their finances, their personal time to attend to Cameroonians. Because the truth is, once you're elected as a leader of the community, it's not just the president, but the entire team.
The entire
people
team,
look up to you. And when they cry to you, no matter what, you will attend to them.
You have to show up.
And it's not just me talking here. It's about the entire team, about their personal sacrifice, personal finances, and everything that they've put together to ensure that this whole thing was a success. And just to remind you again, most of the members I work with, again, they were re-elected. And for them to be re-elected means that people
that shows their service,
service to the community,
selflessness to the community.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. President, I just want to ask a question. How much is Kamba budget? How much do they have in their coffers that they run every year?
Talking about a budget, I wouldn't really say a specific amount of budget. Because when we talk about budget, again, I want to take back to those who...
No, I'm interested. You should be specific. I mean,
who read economics.
I might need to get into where you are keeping the money and see what...
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Again, it's not a structure where the administration sit at the beginning of the year, right? Just like the government of any country. This is a fiscal budget for the year. These are the expenditures.
Okay.
And associationally, it doesn't just like that. Usually, we present an account probably at the end of my term of office. During this year, we were able to receive this number of registration. And I know, an association, we have a constitution that we are able to contribute to individuals who are in some circumstances as per the constitution. You know, so the budget fluctuates. You have registration, sometimes raises up and then comes down. But what I'm interested in, what were you able to leave back when you're leaving office or at one point? But I can't really say this is a Kamba budget, it's 5,000 BD, it's 10,000 BD, or $5,000 or $10,000, stuff like that. It's about, during your term of office, this number of persons registered, this number of persons.
So the only finance Kamba gets in is the registration?
It's the registration.
Nothing else.
And again, that's what I keep saying, that at some point we'll compare people. Sometimes when we want to do like passport, we go to register.
You said that.
It's because I think that people should pay this 2 BD because an association should function on a budget.
That's right.
So even when we organize some of these events, we'll rarely even make a profit out of it, because again we try to look at Cameroonian statues. We try to make it in such a way that even the least Cameroonian could afford being part of the association. So because if we start putting bills that are higher, we'll be targeting a particular class of people, and then we'll be neglecting the less privileged. So we are forced to bring down a budget of any activity to a certain level that even the least person with a menial salary will try to afford. We'll be able to attend that event.
And fee at home.
And at the end, we are not able to realize a profit that will say, hey, this amount came into the coffers and stuff like that. And those are the challenges.
Does Kamba have people of goodwill that are financing the, like, do you have bodies that give you some financial support?
Thank you for that question. And let me use this opportunity to acknowledge the Cameroon migrant